is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Can you leave your kids at home? What a great topic to discuss today as parents. Mine are only 2 and 3 years old. Can I leave them at home? No, it's a tough call to make as they get a little bit older. When is the right age, Ryan James?
This is the thing. I mean, it's...
what are they going to do?
Cots are that good these days that they can't get out. So I'm more than happy to go away on a trip up to the Goldie for 7 days while your child's having a bit of a kip.
Right, okay, so you'll nick off out of state. That's an interesting one. We discussed that topic, and Chrissie's got a bit of a dilemma, but maybe a solution we could all learn from. You hear it on the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I am your TV man. If you want to know what to watch, you come straight to me, guys. I do reviews, I do sing-alongs, I will put on the full show for you.
He just gave us a review of probably the greatest Australian television show of all time, Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
And not happy with it, are you, mate?
No, I didn't say that. I said, and Tommy, you know this because you put me onto Mr. In Between.
You said...
It's awesome.
You said, quote, I think it fell a bit flat.
I was saying towards, like, there's lots of episodes. And how many series are there? 4?
No, I think it's...
Three.
95% on Rotten Tomatoes, if anyone else is interested.
I reckon I got sort of 2 eps into the 3rd. So, great. I just feel the pressure of other shows like The Agency that everyone keeps talking about. And then socially, I can't keep up because Mr. In Between was years ago. So I don't know what to do, Tom. I'm falling apart. That's why I go back to maths.
Yeah, when all else fails, start watching maths.
Yeah, and that's what I've done because the TV man has to be everywhere and he's only got two eyes, mate.
Do you know what? I wish Ray from Mr. In Between could actually come in and actually maybe take out a couple of maths contestants at some stage.
I mean, I know it won an actor for Best Show. Is that correct, Tom? Or did he win Best Actor?
Yeah, the FX channel in America thought it had legs. One of the biggest cable networks in the world.
It's got legs. I never said it didn't have legs.
Sure.
I'm just saying around the second ep of the third series, it got a bit quiet. I just wanted a bit more bang bang.
If it doesn't pass the high bar of the whip fling.
Do you know why I started watching it? Because I got prompted all this stuff on Instagram where they had short reels of him just ripping into guys, and I went, man, this guy's awesome. So
great.
Please don't
send you more reels. Okay, we'll send you more reels.
You got tired of waiting for a Dumb and Dumber sequel again.
Well, the second one was okay, Tom. I would watch the third. I'd pay my ticket at the cinema. Let's move on to maths last night. Mr. TV has some things to say about that. I'm the new Peter Ford. This is your favourite part of maths, so I'm really presenting what you're interested in this morning. This was when you have to rank in the hot or not. You have to put the list of girls that you're attracted to in an order with your partner there in front of you. Now... we all know there's a very, very easy way to win this and keep your partner interested. But I think the producers get in your ear and they go, you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest. Which means don't put your partner first because it's crap TV. Let's talk about who have we got here? Jackie and Ryan. Because Ryan...
Can we go on to Jackie first? I actually really like Jackie, but Jackie's one of these innocent girls. She was a contestant in Miss New Zealand.
Yeah.
She's very attractive, and she's also, she just really wants to find love.
Yeah,
but
she does.
wants her guy to do everything. She just wants to explore. She doesn't want to sit down and watch television.
No.
She wants to get out there and just find love.
She's hungry for adventure and wants someone to do it with. And you know what the thing was? You're right, though, Fitz. She's a Kiwi. I mean, there's so much to do in that great country. But then last night, unfortunately, Ryan put Jackie, his wife, in 3rd position in the hot or not.
Amateur.
All right, have a listen to what happened here.
I'm going to be 100% honest.
I used to be a model and was even Miss New Zealand. Yeah.
All right, getting down to the business end now. All right, last one.
Terrible, terrible move.
What do you think he's going to...
He's gone like 2.5. He slid her between second and he slid her above the lineup of photos between second and third, and then gone for a 2.5.
What I do love is that there has to be a moment because you cannot be that simplistic as a man to go, okay, there must be a moment where the producers pull the men aside and go, okay, what is it going to take us for you to put your partner at number 3 or 4? Because it's great television for us.
Isn't it awesome?
Let's have a bit of fun. If we maybe sling you an extra $2,000 here, or what do you want in your life? Does your mum and dad want to go on a holiday to Vanuatu? We could sort that out.
Oh, mate, I think you're going to extremes. I reckon it's a cab charge. All right, we'll pay for your ride home. I'll book you an Uber. Just put your partner third. See, this is the impact, though. Jackie was devastated at what he'd done and was furious that, you're right, Fitz, he's not up for an adventure. He prefers to be on the couch. Have a listen to this.
In Jackie and Ryan's apartment, the mood has turned from bad to worse.
What is it that's making you upset?
He's like really disappointing. Like, I deserve someone great. I deserve someone who thinks I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. He's like a low-effort man who deserves a low-effort girl. Because that's not me. Like, I came into this experiment with a list of 50 things I wanted to do with my partner. Like, buy 100 candles and light the room. And, like, he doesn't deserve any of that.
He's an LEM, a low-effort man.
Do you know what? She does deserve a man like that. But I'm just a piece of advice. Don't go on Married at First Sight!
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
You know, parenting doesn't come with a manual, does it? Am I right?
You're not wrong, Swanee.
Oh, my God.
Best thing you've said today.
I've had to make a call this week. And
on getting rid of the kids.
Yes.
Go.
Stick with them.
It's going to ship them off.
Yeah.
But I might just get a little Airbnb in the next suburb and pop them in there.
It's quite interesting. This time yesterday on the show, you were talking about your disappearing act that all parents and mothers should do, where you just hide away without telling anybody you're going for 24 hours.
It's such a wonderful thing. It's the disappear day.
Yeah.
Slide into my DMs and I'll show you how. But I just want to float something that happened. I think it was yesterday. I don't know. Every day is a blur, is it not? Where I just had to really go, oh, my God, this is a new problem and I don't know how to fix it. Even though I've been a mother for nearly he's already 16. Nearly 17 years and you still get surprised. So, riddle me this. This is just like your
riddle time on a Friday.
It's just like riddle time, except not insufferable.
Riddle.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am really enjoying my time with you guys, and you know, obviously it's been a new sort of addition to my routine and the schedule, and I'm working it out. I'm proud of myself. But what these sorts of things do not account for are the curveballs of 2 kids with ear infections that have to go and see a doctor and mummy's not at home.
Don't.
Oh, no.
So, everyone's ready for school. I've sighted the uniforms the night before. I'm like, right, everything's sorted.
Good.
The lunches are in the fridge, recesses and whatever, all that interminable stuff that we have to do is all sorted. Yeah. Then 10 p.m. My alarm is set for 5 a.m. because I'm seeing you gorgeous people. At 11 p.m., 10:30 p.m., my daughter looks at me and she says, Mum, my ears are sore. I think I've got an ear infection.
Okay. Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay.
Do you reckon that was a ploy? Are you in your mind? No.
No, my kids do not lie about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is a problem because Mummy's not at home tomorrow. Mummy's going to be at work from 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And there's no one at home. No. Whatever. So I had managed to organise somebody to drive them to school, which I normally do. So that was good. I text that person. I call her Nanny McPhee. She's magical. Yeah. And I said to her, hey, Nanny McPhee, slight curveball. Can you stay longer? Can you drop whichever kids are healthy to school and then stay at home with the ones that aren't? Yeah. That's it. And she said, no, I'm so sorry. I've got to be somewhere else at 9:30. I'm like, okay, that's an issue. So I've got an 11-year-old at home. Of course, first thing I do is Google, is it legal to leave a grade 6 child at home alone? Look, it's technically not, but it's technically not illegal. It's up to the parent. But deep in my gut, I went, that doesn't feel right.
Unless you're playing the pokies, it's okay.
Well, yes. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, isn't there, Fitz? Anyway, so here I've got the problem. I'm out of the house. She's got to get to a doctor. As you know, there are some things that you've got to get to a doctor for because an ear infection just gets worse. How do I do this? Who's going to be at home? Right at that point, I'm wandering around my kitchen like a mad woman. It's now 11:30 p.m. and my 16-year-old stumbles out of his bedroom. He's thirsty. And he sees me in the kitchen. He goes, "What are you doing awake?" And I said, "Oh, the wheels have just fallen off. I don't know what to do. Peg's at home alone." And I said, and at school photo day for you boys. Can't miss that. Oh. And I said, "Hey, Leo, you mentioned yesterday that you didn't want to be in the school photos and that you want to skip it. You don't want your year 11 photo on record."
Nice card.
And he said, "Yeah." And I said, Are you really considering that? Like, is there a wag on the horizon? Just fill me in." He goes, "Oh, take it or leave it." And I said, "How do you feel about having the day off tomorrow and being the official babysitter?"
Yeah,
That's jackpot for any kid.
It's exactly what Leo said. He goes, "This is going to work great for me because also I've got a detention after school tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm going to miss the lot." And I said, "Done. You are at home, but I really want you to look after Peg properly and you're up for the challenge." He said, "Yes." I said, "Done. Great." So that's sorted. In the morning, I get a text message from my middle son who goes, "Hang on a minute. This doesn't seem fair. I'm on air with you guys at this stage. This doesn't seem fair that those two get to stay at home and I don't." And do you know what I did? I said, "You're absolutely right. Day off for everyone."
Oh, no
Grab an ice cream, have a good time, forget about school.
Utterly neglectful and cavalier, but there you have it. They never tell you what to do they, until you make the decision? That's
Parent of the year. Proud of you,
They'd
Swanee.
be ram raiding a petrol station as we speak.
I think so.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast. Chrissie's clickbait.
Now, I have made a sort of a New Year's resolution that I'm not going to harp on about my queen and saviour, Taylor Swift, because you guys may not realise, but that woman saved my life.
Did she really?
You got emotional at the gig as well, didn't you? You were crying
Emotional?
quite a bit.
I lost my mind.
Okay.
I lost my mind. She is everything, but I feel like she's in my heart and soul, and I don't need to talk about her quite as much this year as I normally do. I met her, but it was before she was my queen and saviour.
Okay. Isn't it funny you didn't realise at the time the saviour was in front of you?
But it's actually good that because I was normal when I met her.
Sure.
If I met her now, I would lose my mind.
It'd be a mess.
But her and her fella, Travis Kelce, they just go from strength to strength. And he has said on his podcast that he has with his big beefy brother this.
Taylor's work ethic is unmatched. How does that inspire you in your game?
I better hold up my end of the bargain, right? I mean, if she's out here being the superstar she is and never taking no for an answer and always working her tail off, I better match that energy for sure.
I love this. Don't you? A man that appreciates his woman and sees her for what she does and what she is and the magic that she gives the world, and says, I'm not gonna be hating on that. I'm not gonna try and make her smaller. I'm going to rise to the power of my woman. I love
Chrissie,
it.
Who will be in the box with Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? Who's her besties at the moment?
Ryan Reynolds still?
Yeah, I think it's still Blake Lively. And Lord knows Blake needs the support at the moment with all that Justin Baldoni rubbish that's going on. Travis has also said that his favourite album is the Tortured Poets Department, which I'm going to say is a questionable choice. Great album, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a couple of songs on there for Swifties that are believed to be written about him. And I speak, of course, of So High School.
Swanee.
Yes. Oh, God, I love her.
Hey, what's a Fortnite? Who's Fortnite written about?
Not sure. It's with Post Malone.
Yeah.
But I don't know who that's about. These are the two that are believed to be about Travis Kelce.
Right.
Is it Kelce or Kels? I never know.
Yeah, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, it's Kelsey.
And this is The Alchemy. Is this The Alchemy? Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting because we didn't know about their relationship until,
Put it in the song.
Well, she's been writing about him for a while.
Are you saying that she may have been seeing Travis Kelce while
Absolutely.
Joe was still on the scene?
Oh, my
Well,
God.
no, I don't believe so. But when Tortured Poets Department was released, stop me if this is too much.
Yeah.
We were sort of truffle hunting for stuff about Joe Alwyn. But the fact of the matter is, that was done and dusted, and actually Folklore and Evermore is
Look, that is
more
too
about
much.
That
definitely
breakup.
is too much. I'll stop you there.
I'm so sorry. Let's move on to Charlie XCX. Oh, what
Here we
a
go.
song!
It's big,
And
isn't it?
how much did we enjoy our Brat
I
Summer,
know.
guys? How much?
100%.
Yeah.
She's just playing laneway. She's just playing laneway at the moment. She's in the country.
I just love the whole anti-hero thing about her. She's like, I smoke, I drink, I don't get up, my undies are dirty. Bring it. And I love also that she has stuck with an historical handle from her MSN days for her name. Have a listen.
Is this true that your stage name was actually your original MSN name and your manager was like, let's just call you that?
I didn't have a manager when I decided to keep it that name, but I was like, God, I just can't think of anything, let's just keep it that. So yeah, it's my MSN scream name. It's probably still around. Actually, I think MSN closed. Sorry, RIP. But yeah, it's that.
What, like MySpace?
Yes. Do you remember your handle from way back when? What was it?
Well, I know that my name was it was my email.
Yeah.
And then the password was Hancock1. I don't know why I remember that.
Oh, because you would have, John Hancock,
Could you still go to MySpace, Tommy? MySpace...
Yeah.
Remember they tried to make it about music, didn't they?
I can't log in because my email is AFLPA, which is the AFL Players Association, which was 25 years ago when I was playing football.
Is it still there, Tommy?
Yeah, it's still there. Absolutely.
It's still there, but it's an absolute wasteland. Tom, remember he was your first friend on MySpace?
Oh, Tom was always your first friend.
Yeah.
Where's Tom now?
Tom's a billionaire, isn't he?
Where is Tom? I'm so glad that my friend at the time didn't sort of become famous and hang on to her MySpace handle because it was Pulsating Vulva, and I thought that was very interesting.
That your friend, or was that you, or you just know somebody, do you, like that? You know her very well.
It was my friend. I'm
Yes,
a
of
very
course.
good girl.
Pulsating Vulva. Try and log in with that, Tom.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Chrissie's clickbait.
I mean, when will the Married at First Sight producers learn? Or maybe they already have.
Maybe
Do you
it's the
remember
contestants.
Exactly. Do you remember a few seasons ago they introduced that diabolical ranking?
Oh, the hot or not.
The hot or not list. And the first year they did it, it just ended in absolute heartache. If you're not across the show, I mean, you're one of very few, but what they do is they wait until these couples have sort of hit a bit of a routine, a week or two, and then they go, bang, now's the time for the man to rank the attractiveness of the women that he wasn't matched with.
Yeah.
And weirdly, the male contestants tell the truth every year.
It feels like dumb dog, doesn't it? But I
reeks
think
of inexperience.
if you're in a relationship too, there's always going to be hotter people. Isn't it okay to say, I think you're beautiful and I love being with you and everything we have, but that girl Miranda Kerr over there is naturally more attractive than you?
Yes, but we're not talking about Miranda Kerr. We're talking about other also-rans on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And I reckon that sort of conversation is fine once you've locked someone down.
Sure. This is
You know
grey
what I
area.
mean?
Yeah, this is early days.
Last night, Ryan and Jackie suffered the the humiliation, I'm going to say, of having to do this. Ryan, the guy with the neck that is even wider than his head.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Extraordinary how that happens. Anyway, he ranked his wife third.
Never, ever do you do that, Ryan.
Third.
I'm talking to all Ryans.
He said that Ree was the most attractive in the competition. Television show. And Karina was the second hottest, and then Karina came in. Now, if you're wondering how Karina responded to this... How Jackie responded to this, it wasn't great. Have a listen.
In Jackie and Ryan's apartment, the mood has turned from bad to worse.
Oh, God.
What is it that's making you upset?
He's like really disappointing. Like, I deserve someone great. I deserve someone who thinks I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. He's like a low effort man who deserves a low effort girl. Because that's not me. Like, I came into this experiment with a list of 50 things I wanted to do with my partner. Like, buy 100 candles and light the room. And, like, he doesn't deserve any of that.
I love that we now have BD energy and low effort man.
I came into this experiment with 50 things that I want to do with my man, and they would have picked someone who was so anti that. Like these people don't understand. They're not going to suit you up to the man of your dreams.
Imagine being described as a disappointment. Like,
what do you mean, imagine?
Or just an when you're matched with someone or you meet somebody and they was to say, hey, what did you meet of Tom? You met Tom. What did you think?
Yeah, great guy.
An absolute disappointment. Like, your expectation was something so high that they could only be described as a loss in your life. Like, time wasted, never get it back.
A low effort man.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Don't want no low effort man.
Like, is that a category now? Is it I don't know.
Yeah, it is now. It just became one, Swanee, the low effort man.
I love the idea of a low effort man.
Thank you, 2025. We'll take
and
that.
And also, 100 things that you want to do. Was it 100 or 50 or however many?
50,
anything more than 2 things.
I couldn't come up with 50. I couldn't come up with 2.
Gosh, she sounds exhausting.
Oh, my God. That couple is doomed.
Just a community service announcement. If you're ever in this situation, the person you're with is the most attractive person you've ever seen. If it's a lie, tell it.
Do you know what the common one in relationships are? When someone will say, like the girl might say to the guy, which one of my friends do you think is the hottest out of the group?
What? Why would you ask that question?
Do you know what I mean? Girls will try and trap a man with that. Once again, gents, fade out or say you're the most beautiful there is.
Correct.
Okay, I've only got eyes for you.
Simple. Let's move on to Willem Dafoe. Probably a blast from the past.
Who's that?
Sort of name. He was a very famous actor. Very, very prolific.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I mean, he is actually in that new Nosferatu film that's coming out.
Okay.
I cannot wait to see. Yeah. But he was stopped on the streets of New York City. Willem Dafoe, one of the greats. He's sort of in the genre of... Harvey Keitel, that sort of, thinking woman's crumpet sort of guy. Christopher Walken, there's a few of them that are the same. Anyway, we were stopped on the streets of New York City by a young person doing a vox pop who had absolutely no idea who he was, to the point where he asked the question, what do you do for a living? Have a listen.
I love your outfit. What do you do for a living?
I'm an actor.
Really? What's your name? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, Willem.
Got you. What do you like about your job?
It's always different. Nothing's ever the same.
For someone who's getting into your career, what advice can you tell them?
I don't give advice.
You don't give advice?
No, everybody's got to find their own way.
That's true.
Just enjoy.
Quite like that.
Oh, that is great.
You don't need to give advice. Everyone's meant to have an answer or solution for everything. What about just getting yourself into it?
Correct.
Oh, well said,
How
Wippa.
can you look at that face, though, and not know who it is?
Yeah.
An icon.
Generational different there.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Could you imagine the moment you saw those numbers and you realised that you'd won $100 million. $100 million. The thing is, too, if your numbers come up, you don't know how many Division 1 winners there are. So, I mean, it could have been won by 10 people. But last night, this is the largest prize ever for the lot. This is huge, and it went to one person.
Oh. Do you know what I do as we look out over Blackwattle Bay here? I look outside and I see the beautiful blue sky, and it's a Wednesday morning. So what's your usual routine? A Wednesday, you're like, well, halfway through the week, it's going to be 30 today. Not a bad day. But for that lady from Elizabeth Hills in Western Sydney, what is she waking up to this morning when she looks outside?
All her family and anybody she's known for the past 40 years standing on her front lawn. Hey, Chrissie, I said to you yesterday, $100 million. Fitzy couldn't give me an answer what he would do. I've given you now 24 hours. Have you come up with any thoughts on what you would do with $100 million?
Well, I would, obviously, after the events of this morning, I would organise a regular milk delivery.
Okay, you could probably buy the milk company.
So I don't ever have to suffer the injustice of scooping out some powdered milk. And I stand by my once a week.
Yeah, sure.
Change my bed linen.
Okay.
Where I don't have to grunt and pull it down and curse my life.
Okay, so you want to work on you want to pay for an anti-grunting service?
Yes, please.
Do you know what would be fascinating? And I would suggest that if a parking officer is the worst job in the world, then the best job would be calling people to let them know they've won a whole lot of money.
Yes.
Kat works for the lot and she made this call last night. How are you, Kat?
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Kat,
it was very exciting making that call.
This is phenomenal. I mean, obviously, if she's registered through the lot, then you have her details, right? So it pops up in your system, you see the contact details, and can you talk us through the moment you dialed that number?
Yes, well, it was a very exciting moment for me as well because I'd never called someone about a win so big. But basically, we just gave her that winning phone call. We had to call a few times before she answered because she was wondering, why is someone calling me so late? And then when we got onto her, we just gave her that amazing news that she had won $100 million.
Yeah, but a bit more detail than that, please, Kat. What did she say when you broke that news to her?
What your sentence, your opening sentence to her?
Well, it's funny. We do have to check some details first. So I just said, like, hey, am I speaking with so-and-so? And she was going, why? Like, who's wondering? And I said, I have to confirm I'm speaking with you. And then got her to confirm her ticket number. And then I broke that news, which, I basically said, it's my pleasure to confirm that you have won $100 million. And
oh my God.
Straight away she was just like, you better not be pranking me. And she just didn't know whether to believe me or not.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Any other screams coming from the house, Kat? Can you confirm or deny? No, she was by us.
Yeah, so...
was she crying, Kat? Was she emotional?
She wasn't crying, but I think she was just in complete shock.
Yeah, I bet.
She was just like, I don't know what to feel.
And what was she doing? I read she was watching MAFS, was she?
Yeah, she had just finished watching Married at First Sight and was drifting off to sleep.
Okay, and she was a bit thrown by the situation with Jackie and Ryan?
Yeah, I haven't been watching it, but I've heard it's going pretty crazy.
It's pretty heavy stuff, mate.
Maybe she'll spend $1 million of her of her stash there to just make that television show go away altogether. Hey, Kat, did you ask her what she was going to do with it?
Yes, so I asked her and she had a few plans in mind. She said, although she loves her job, she said she didn't see why there was any point on continuing working.
What is her job? What did she tell you?
In what area?
She didn't tell me, unfortunately. No. So, I don't know. But she said she works pretty much every day.
Wow.
Usually 7 days a week. And she just said, although she loves it, she's just happy to never work again.
Kat, can you tell me how it rolls out after this? I mean, do you just hit this big button that says transaction? Or how long till that amount gets sent to her account?
It's actually 2 weeks from the draw. So in 2 weeks' time, she'll see that full $100 million. It'll just go straight into her bank account.
So she has 2 weeks to plan a huge party.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Do you know if she's single, Kat?
I wish I could tell you. Well, I think she did actually mention she had a partner, but she didn't go into much detail. So,
Kat, have you ever thought about going rogue? You could say to her, I can get $100 million to you, but you need to confirm 10 to me. Flick it back to me just on the side here. I'm in charge. You could do that, couldn't you?
Oh, I wish I could do that, but no, definitely not. We can't do that. We can't accept any money, sadly.
Don't play
And
by the rules.
Can I confirm? I've heard that Tats Lotto wins and prize wins and like that are not tax exempt. So does she get the full $100 million whack in there?
Yes, so any lottery winnings are completely tax-free. She'll get the whole full $100 million.
Oh my God. You'd think there was an error in your bank account, wouldn't you? You'd look at it and go, oh my God, the bank is stuffed up. I can't touch this.
Yeah, can you imagine all the extra zeros?
Kat, how hard is it for you to make the call and then come into work this morning knowing that they're not paying you enough at the lot?
Yeah, nothing in it for you, Kat.
Well, it's funny you say that, but I just feel so excited and grateful to make the call because I've just witnessed someone's life completely changing in front of me. Yeah. So you sort of the energy comes onto me and yeah, it's such a good feeling that I don't even care.
Oh, my God.
You want a pay rise, Kat. You're a liar. You want a pay rise. And
imagine if you had that money, Tommy, you could cancel your OnlyFans page.
Yeah, buy a new Yaris. I'd love that.
Buy a new Yaris?
Yeah.
Wow. Said no one ever. Hey,
Everyone deserves a new Yaris just once in their life.
Don't they? A fresh Yaris. Go out and grab one today. Powerball. So this is tomorrow night, Tommy. It's worth $60 million. No, I'm only in it for the 100.
Shrapnel.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I know, kids, it's scattered all across New South Wales at the moment, but if you're happy that your kids went back to school yesterday, you're not as happy as this mother.
Bus has smashed into a house in Sydney's southwest. Witnesses say it sounded like a bomb going off. Several passengers were on board, but no one was seriously hurt. The homeowner telling 7 News it's incredibly lucky her kids went back to school today.
My God. The pace that the bus hits the house at, when I saw it on the news last night, I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, it's really moving. It doesn't just roll into the front room of a house. It smashes into that house.
It's lucky that it didn't clean up another car on the way because it does go across sort of an intersection straight into the house. But imagine that's the morning you take your kids back to school and you're like, oh my gosh, finally got rid of them from school holidays. And you get back home to Bonnyrigg Heights and the house is completely flattened.
Hey, and it looks like it's turned into a pile of kindling, the
hasn't
house.
It?
Like it's just gone.
Yeah, rubble. What happened to the driver, Fitz? What was the issue?
They don't know. They're still trying to work out whether he had an episode. You would have to say that something's gone wrong because he's rocked up to the intersection and he hasn't braked. No braking at all. He hasn't slowed down at all.
Do you know, I always think about that when I see a house that's right on a roundabout at the bottom of a hill. And I wonder if the people that bought that house thought, what if a car's brakes go? The next thing you know, they're in the front room of our house.
And you know it's bad feng shui.
To be on that roundabout?
To be on the roundabout or to have a house right at the end of a street.
Is that true? Did you make that up or is that true?
Listen, don't
Chrissie,
question me.
I mean, don't Google it. Don't question it. Don't Google it.
I'm not a feng shui master, but I'm sure I've read that somewhere that you shouldn't have like a direct line into your house if you can avoid that.
Yes.
Can I also throw this out there? Is it a moment where a bus driver has just had enough? Because I look at bus drivers sometimes. I jump on the 442 sometimes, and you know what? Some of the bus drivers that I have, they look like they're ready to drive the bus into a house.
Okay.
Like they've had enough. And you know what? Especially it's a school bus. I remember one time coming home from high school and someone from art class had brought all the clay with them in their bag and passed out the clay.
Yeah.
And this poor bus driver, by the end of the trip, he would have had around about 20 kilos of clay just absolutely splattered on the back of his bald head, the poor bugger, and he was ready to drive into a house.
And if he loses his nut, and by the time he gets to court and says to the judge, well, Your Honour, I found myself with 20 kilos of clay on the back of my head. That's why I did it. I reckon there's a reason to say it. I get it, mate. You're okay, as you were.
It's so bizarre that you just used the phrase loses his nut in relation to a bus because I saw my first testicle on a bus. Yes.
How?
Was it a game of sneaky nut or?
Did someone do a fruit salad as they were getting off the bus, or what was a fruit bowl, or what
what's
was
a fruit bowl? What's a fruit
Could have been
salad?
It's when you press it against a window.
Might have been
and it looks
No.
like a fruit bowl.
Might have been
What
the fruit
happened?
bat where you pull your pants down and then do a handstand and press it up against the window.
I wish I had this equipment because this all sounds very fun.
Oh,
but
there's great things to do with it.
no,
Yeah.
it was a very hot day, and an older gentleman was sitting opposite me, and he didn't have any undies on, and a baggy pair of shorts.
Oh, no.
And his testicle was sitting on the hot lino seat
Oh.
as if it was a passenger.
Okay, like he'd taken it off and sat separately next to him.
Yeah. And I thought, excuse me, do you have a ticket?
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about lunch.
I can't even claim my lunch.
Okay, you better be
Oh, that's snitchy. I wanted a bit of Billie Eilish in there as well because you know what? This is with the election, the looming election coming up. We're looking at policies and what are they going to throw at us? What's Albo and Dutton going to throw at us? Peter Dutton's come out and said that one of his coalition promises is to allow small businesses to claim a tax deduction for business lunches.
Yes.
That sounds good to me,
doesn't it?
So this would allow businesses to deduct for tax purposes up to $20,000 for business-related meal and entertainment expenses without incurring a fringe benefits tax. That's jackpot for any business, isn't it? To know you got 20 grand up your sleeve for lunch.
Yeah, but I think there's a bigger picture there because I think it's about the workplace environment. That's why I like it. And because people have been working from home, this drives people back into the office and unites companies and unites the staff. So I like this.
And it's also the hospitality sector because we do know that the city is struggling a little bit at the moment in hospitality.
Yeah.
We want more people to get out to lunch.
And as it turns out, I love lunch, so there's a bit of an upside there for me personally. So, Pete, great work.
Well, see, this is what I was going... If you had $20,000 a year at a business, do you sit down at the start of the year and do you plan out your business, your lunches for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think you should. You should have a calendar. I mean, it would be a monthly lunch. Would you try and lock that in? Draw up the list, draw up the specials, stretch it if you need to with cheap taco nights. You can do anything.
Do you go, all right, well, let's just, maybe this week we go to Nando's, but okay, do we book in Rockpool at the end of the year or something like that?
Do you know what's
going to spend $5,000 at Rockpool on everybody?
Do you know what's going to happen though, Fitz? It'll be like the February lunch, which will take place, and it'll be the start of the year, and the team will go out for lunch, and you know when it happens when, if it's 10 people for lunch, there'll be 5 that'll say, I've got to pick up the kids or I've got to go home, and they leave the other 5 there. And then you turn up to work on Monday and they go, hey, why have we spent 10K out of our 20 for the year? Because you 5 decided to settle in at the bar and invite a couple of other people to come down.
Can I say something controversial here?
Here we go.
I've been burning lunch. I haven't been having lunch. As I've got older, I've got rid of lunch out of my life. I'm having a later breakfast and then an early dinner, and I'm not having a lunch.
I reckon you'll have hearing aids next week, and you'll be wetting the bed the week after.
Lunch is the greatest meal of the day for you, isn't it? Without
for me. Oh, my God, I stop down for 3 hours daily and we'll spend $20,000.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Now, I don't take into consideration these best of lists, but Delicious Magazine, you've got it. Your ears prick up when you hear Delicious Magazine, don't you, Chrissie? I mean, it's one of the best going around.
Agreed.
So and this is no sponsors. They're not pumping any ice cream up here, but they've ranked Australia's best ice creams.
They've done this without me.
Does anyone want to have a crack at number one? What are you thinking here? The best ice cream to buy, and this is from petty stations from anywhere. But just
are we talking about supermarket tubs or on the stick or what?
No, on the stick.
Oh, you want on the
stick? Here. Yeah. Now it doesn't have to be the stick because Cornetto could be in there or whatever, but, you know, like, what are you thinking? Just quickly, give me what you got.
It's got to be a wee spa, hasn't it?
I love a wee spa so much. Mango,
oh, my
please.
God. Have you had the mango macadamia one? Holy
I know.
crap.
How do you stop at one, Swanee?
What about a Magnum, though? Magnum is a superior... it is wonderful.
But what's the ice cream they do? It starts with a C, but it's not the connoisseur, but it's
No, it's the connoisseur.
Do they have one? No,
connoisseur. Okay, so Swanee, Magnum comes in at number 2. So you've done well there. Connoisseur Cookies and Cream Whip comes in at number 5.
Yum.
Right.
The chocolate paddle pop's number 9.
Yeah.
Oreo ice cream sandwich is number 8.
Oh, my God. A Maxi Bon is excellent. A Frosty
Maxi Bon.
Fruit.
Oh, Frosty Fruit.
A Split. Oh, my God.
No, not in there. The fruity ones aren't in there. It's
Is it a
ice
golden
creams.
gay time?
No,
Maxi
it's
Bon
definitely
7.
not. Drumstick.
Buffalo Bill 6. Buffalo Bill 6.
Buffalo Bill is rubbish now.
No, it's not.
Oh,
yes,
no,
it is.
Not.
No, the gumball is dry all the time. Does not respond to freezing very well. Should be off the market.
Let the gumball go as an adult. Enjoy the rest.
Nah.
Is it a Cornetto?
Banana
Golden
paddle
Gate
pop.
Time number 4. Cornetto's number 3. Magnum 2 coming in at number 1. If you've got a drum roll for me there, Jess. It's the Super Choc Drumstick. Drumstick comes in at number 1.
I'm not a nut guy, so I have an issue with the nuts on top.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
and I'll eat it. I just have to brush the nuts off and then rip into it.
It's basically a chocolate sundae in the drumstick. That's your number 1, Australia. That's Delicious Magazine coming from the best.
I don't know. This feels like... I'm sorry. I'm
a little bit...
I'd like an inquiry. I feel like this is a paid promotion by Chocolate Drumstick. I just don't believe it is superior to the others.
Tommy, Swanee and I would like to formally lodge a protest regarding that list.
Yeah.
And if other ice cream companies want to send in ice cream, then we are happy to put together our own list here and release that to the public.
Tommy, while you're organising
What else
that,
do you need, Swanee?
we'd like giant napkins to just tuck into our collars
In fact,
when we're eating it.
In fact, can we get like haircut bibs that they, when you're getting a haircut, they put that whole plastic sheet over you?
Oh, this is going to get messy.
That's how serious. And throw the stuff at me, Tommy. I'll just open my mouth.
Yeah, and we're just going to be naked in a conference room somewhere at Nova.
Wrestling,
Also,
Tom.
Send in a couple of jabs of Monjaro.
Wash it down.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.